Welcome to my YouTube channel, Road Rider. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about adventure motorcycles of the year, the 2025 Yamaha Tenere 700. If you've been following the adventure and dual sport motorcycle scene, you know the Tenere 700 has already built a reputation for being rugged, reliable, and ready to tackle everything from city streets to the most challenging trails. But the 2025 model isn't just another iteration. It brings in refinements, updates, and subtle improvements that make it stand out as one of the most balanced mid-weight adventure bikes you can buy right now. When we talk about adventure bikes, there's always a debate between power, weight, durability, and affordability. The big question is whether the Yamaha Tenere 700 manages to deliver a perfect balance of all those elements without compromise. That's exactly what we're going to explore in this review. Over the next several minutes, I'll walk you through the design, performance, features, comfort, off-road capabilities, on-road manners, technology, pricing, and overall ownership experience of the 2025 Tenere 700. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know whether this is the right adventure machine for you. Let's start by talking about the design. At first glance, the Tenere 700 continues its rugged Dakar-inspired look. Yamaha hasn't gone crazy with redesigning it, and honestly, that's a good thing. The adventure bike crowd loves its minimalist, functional aesthetic. The 2025 model keeps that rally-style front fairing, the distinctive twin-LED headlights, and the tall stance that screams off-road readiness. But look closer and you'll notice the refinements: sharper lines on the fairing, slightly reworked panels that improve aerodynamics, and new color schemes that add a modern creme touch while keeping that aggressive off-road DNA intact. The bike still has a tall and commanding profile, with a slim waistline that makes it easier for riders to maneuver. Whether standing on the pegs or seated in traffic, the build quality is where Yamaha has always excelled. The Tenere 700 carries forward that reputation. The frame feels tough, the welds are precise. Everything from the paint to the switchgear has that sense of durability that makes you think. This bike is ready to survive thousands of miles without complaint. The 2025 model also features improved protection with optional skid plates and crash bars, which means Yamaha has listened to riders who take this machine into the wild and wanted a bit more out-of-box resilience. Moving on to performance, the heart of the Tenere 700 remains its CP2 engine, a 689cc parallel twin that has become legendary in Yamaha's lineup. For 2025, Yamaha has refined the fueling and slightly retuned the engine for smoother throttle response. It still produces around 72 horsepower and 68 newton-meters of torque. But what matters is how it delivers that power. What's also impressive is the engine's reliability. Owners of older Tenere 700s will tell you these motors are bulletproof. They can handle long-distance touring, dusty trails, high heat, and even the occasional drop without skipping a beat. Yamaha hasn't overcomplicated things with the 2025 version, which is why many purists still prefer this bike over some of its tech-heavy competitors. Now let's talk about the suspension and handling, because this is where the Tenere 700 truly shines. Up front, you've got fully adjustable 43mm KYB upside-down forks with about 210mm of travel. At the rear, a monoshock with around 200mm of travel, also adjustable, on the road. The suspension strikes a nice balance between firmness and comfort. Some adventure bikes feel too soft on highways, making them wallow when cornering, but the Tenere manages to stay composed without beating you up over longer rides. The tall 21-inch front wheel and 18-inch rear wheel combination also emphasize its off-road pedigree. You're not going to flick it through corners like a sport bike, but for an adventure machine, it feels nimble and predictable. One of the biggest updates for 2025 is Yamaha's electronics package. Previous models were often criticized for being too bare-bones compared to the competition. The new Tenere 700 comes with switchable ABS, traction control, and selectable riding modes. But Yamaha has kept things simple. They haven't overloaded the bike with a dozen unnecessary features. E-comfort is another important aspect, especially for riders who plan on taking the Tenere 700 on long tours. The seat height is tall, around 880 millimeters, but Yamaha also offers a lower seat option for shorter riders. The ergonomics are upright and natural. It's perfect for both long highway stretches and standing on the pegs while tackling trails. Fuel efficiency is also worth mentioning. The 16-liter fuel tank gives you a decent range. It's often around 300 kilometers depending on riding conditions. For riders venturing into remote areas, that's a huge plus. Yamaha has also improved the fuel mapping, making the engine not only smoother, but also slightly more efficient, which is always welcome for adventure travel. But let's not forget its road manners. This is a bike that you can genuinely use for daily commuting, weekend fun, and cross-country trips. The engine cruises comfortably at highway speeds without feeling strained, and the updated windscreen makes it easier to live with on long rides. Cornering stability is solid, braking power is strong thanks to dual front discs with ABS, and the overall feel is planted and confidence-inspiring. Yamaha has also worked on small but meaningful details in the 2025 model. The gear shifts feel smoother, the clutch is lighter, and the overall refinement is a notch above previous years. It may not sound like much on paper, but when you're out there riding for hours, these improvements add up to a better overall experience. When it comes to technology, Yamaha is walking that fine line. Some competitors like KTM or Triumph load their adventure bikes with advanced electronics, cornering ABS, multiple traction modes, adaptive suspensions, and more. Yamaha has taken a more minimalist approach, focusing on essentials. Another key factor is the community. The Tenere 700 has built a massive global following with riders sharing tips, modifications, and adventures online. This makes ownership more rewarding, so you feel part of a bigger movement of adventure enthusiasts. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace out.